And we're back, just like that.
We never missed a beat.
No. What happened? How long is it? What? I've seen you since
It's
this
been a couple
place.
years. No, we haven't.
Yes.
When?
No, at Soho House, at the comedy night.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
a nice, like we did this and then I'm like, we got to get you into Soho House. You hosted a comedy night there.
Downtown.
Downtown. Did you make it to WeHo?
No.
Not good enough for WeHo. Okay. That's okay.
That's exactly what they said. They said you're not quite.
Downtown. Sure. We'll take them.
We'll hide you downtown with everyone else who has a beard.
At this rate, and I say this respectfully in regards to Soho House, but who knows? Like, it's a crapshoot. I don't work there anymore. So.
Okay, cool. So now all the dirt can come out. Where do they hide the dead celebrities? I heard Jim Carrey's buried there.
Oh, is Jim Carrey dead?
Yeah. No,
Jim
he's
Carrey?
not dead.
I was like, huh? No.
Yeah.
He's alive and well-ish.
Yeah. But then you moved to Hawaii.
Yeah. How'd you know?
Because you post about it on social media.
Barely, rarely. I tend to keep a low profile. So essentially I worked at Soho House for a few years and saw the company through COVID, the end of COVID, I should say. Like the tail extension of COVID. Like when we came back, we were all masked. I thought it was pretty rough. There was a lot of members who were like terrified of being out in public and having to like temper and manage their concerns with also operating a business. I thought it was a challenge. Members were frustrated. They had been spending money all through COVID. We were still charging them. And then they're like expecting something that was almost hard to achieve because they want it to be perfectly safe and comfortable and the service to be top notch. And we're all like masked up and like, doing our best. So so I was there for a few years. The company went public in that time.
What? It did?
Yeah.
You can buy it. Is it SOHO?
No, it's MCG, I think. It's like there's a bunch under the umbrella.
Mick G.
It's Mick G, but of course now I can't remember what that stands for. I'm not the best with acronyms.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to get back to you on that. But it includes, because Soho House owns like a lot, Chiconi's. There's all these like
They own Chiconi's? Oh, is that why the pizza's everywhere? Oh.
Yeah, we even did a Chiconi's pop. That was like one of the highlights for me. We had a Chiconi's pop up at Soho House West Hollywood. So I just got to eat like.
And now I'm gluten free, so I can't eat it. Oh my
gosh.
I know,
no.
the full LA transitions happened.
How long did that take you though?
It's been like 3 weeks, but I feel amazing.
So you just became gluten free after how many years of living here?
Like 18.
Oh, okay. So you're okay. I'm not. I know many, many, many people who are. I'm so glad you feel amazing.
I feel amazing.
If you go to Italy, you can return to gluten.
I was fine in Italy. I was there in the summer.
Yeah, that was like my aha awakening. They do something disgusting and bad and corrupt to the wheat here.
Corrupted wheat.
Yeah. No, it literally is.
Yeah, it says it on the label.
They like beat the nutritional value out of it and like inject bleach into it to make the
It's like
bread
fortified
really
it with something, but that causes like acid. I don't know the science.
It probably causes a lot more than acid. It probably causes cancer.
Wow.
Yeah. Hot take.
Look how big wheat. Casey's coming. But that's like, I was in Italy and it was fine. It was, and then
pizza, pasta
that's when I had to stop because came back. I'm like eating bread and all that stuff. I'm like, and I just felt so bad.
You can go to Italy and buy goods there.
Really?
It's almost like you're in Italy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some hacks.
You got some hacks?
Got some hacks. But the truth is I can barely like put a meal together because I just feel like I'm running around a lot and I work at a restaurant. So in theory.
A restaurant?
Yeah. Well, I'll fill you in.
Okay.
Essentially, I left Soho House. The company IPO'd.
Yeah.
It was a big moment for them. It was a lot of change all at once, I felt like, for the teams that were managing different houses. All of a sudden, the financial records and, how we operated became very public knowledge.
Totally public.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a tough business model. It's a great business model in the sense that you have this surefire way of collecting money because you've got annual membership
like
dues.
Netflix.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, totally. And these models I feel like have gotten really, really popular. Yeah. But on the other hand, they lease all of their properties. So during COVID, they were hemorrhaging because they weren't making any money off of food and beverage sales. And they're paying millions and millions of dollars every month. And they were I keep saying we, but I'll say they were expanding so quickly. And all of the houses
Hold on,
are
I just
stunning.
have to sell my shares of McG.
Yeah.
Sell. Okay, good.
Yeah, I would keep an eye on it. I don't think they're like thriving or anything. I think it was a rough transition. I personally, for me, what I used to love about Soho House was the intimacy, the curation, the like I loved who I was in the room with kind of a feeling. And like let's be honest, at a certain point that got degraded.
Oh yeah, the
that's
analog
like common
phone booth.
knowledge.
Yeah. Or
I'm not saying anything.
With the little photos you pin to the wall.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you'd come back and you're like, my photo's still there. It was so small.
Yeah, this is Soho House, like circa 2011, 2012.
Yeah, the best times.
Those were like the golden years,
Yeah.
especially in WeHo. Like LA had never seen anything like it. So it was really exciting. I decided to leave. And yes, I called what I did a sabbatical. I moved my ass to Hawaii, which I think we had talked about before. I had a total love affair with the North Shore of Oahu.
Okay.
Very specific part of Hawaii. It's not like, people know about Maui because they vacation in Wailea, and then obviously the fires horrible. Like, I left right before the fires happened, and
Did you start the fire and leave? You're like, this is
wow, controversial. I mean, that is the theory that some people had, that like haoles are, people on the mainland coming to try to have this beautiful land. I mean, it's a
What's a haole?
Haole is a derogatory term for a white person that lives on the island.
Okay.
Because the island was not, the people who are native to the land are not white, right?
You tell me.
They're not.
Okay.
They're not. It's a Polynesian. It's a very different
right,
type
like the
of,
Rock.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. They have a specific build. They have a specific culture. They have a specific way of life. And we sort of disrupted that, honestly, when we made Hawaii a state and then decided like, oh, this land's pretty great. Like, let's just build it out, gentrify the fuck out of it. And you have to import everything in. So it becomes really, really expensive to live. Like the cost of a Dial soap, like a bottle of body wash is like $8.
You mean DL?
What? Leave it
Dial
to you.
soap.
Leave it to you to just make it sound just fancy.
So soap's expensive, everything.
Everything was expensive. I actually just only shopped at Costco.
Wow.
Yeah, like straight up.
Wow.
And I'd like never shopped at Costco before.
What'd you do with all the extras?
Oh, I like consumed it. I had a lot of frozen goods.
Frozen laundry pods?
No. Frozen like acai bowls,
Oh, those are great.
Yeah. So
wow, you're coming into your Costco years.
Pretty much how I subsisted. Plus, the North Shore, for anyone who's been there, is the country. And you'll see, like Hawaii patriots, nationalists driving around with signs that say, keep the country country. It's basically their way of saying, like, fuck off.
Okay.
Don't develop this land. And there's a lot of rules and restrictions around, like there's no hotels over there. There's one property called Turtle Bay, which is really, really famous. That's the only hotel on the North Shore.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's cool. And it, obviously surfing is, if you don't do that, like, why are you there?
Why
kind
are
of
you
a
there?
thing. Wintertime, which is when I moved, is when the swells come in. They're like 25 to 50 foot high waves. People are just traveling from all over the world just to like watch.
Yeah.
/ like get in and do the dam. It was pretty heavy. It was really fun for me for a while. I also was going through like some personal stuff with relationships, and it's an intense.
Good or bad?
Both.
Okay.
I had a lot of stuff. Like, I'll probably spare the podcast this story because it's a wild story, but I definitely had some interesting revelations while I was living there.
Okay.
And Hawaii is a very raw place. Like, this is what I say to people when they ask me how it was to live there. Very raw. Meaning, LA, I've lived here almost 20 years. You can kind of, if you want to, and I'm a growth oriented person, so I don't like condone this, but if you want to, you could kind of just like be anyone you want, like lurk in the shadows, like
reinvent yourself.
You can reinvent yourself 100 times, right? And like social media, you can literally put on any face you want. It's not like that. Hawaii, it's like, first of all, it's hot, so everyone's wearing no clothes. So on a very physical level, it's like you come as you are. You're like, I'm showing up, this is me. Then the emotional side and the kind of like psychological side, intellectual side, there's something about the energy there that forces you to really like deal with stuff. So if you've been suppressing traumas or like things that you don't want to address, they come up. I don't know how to explain it. You could be like sitting on the beach one day and all of a sudden you're like crying because you're like I don't know what it is. But that happened to me a lot. I found it to be very healing, but also kind of like a tough place. I spent about 6 months there. And then right when I was starting to get island fever, as they call it, I started texting with a very dear friend of mine, someone I've known for 15 years. His name's Brian Toll.
Okay.
He's one of the co-founders of the H Wood Group.
Oh, nice.
The H Wood Group is, I would say, iconic in terms of what they've created in Los Angeles. Company's like 15, 16 years old. 2 guys, Brian and John, both USC alums. I'm also a USC alum. Go Trojans, baby.
That's what it is.
Let's fucking go. It's weird. Like, that network is legit.
Is that their slogan? LFG?
No, but like, whatever, you know?
Oh, it's like whatever. That's the slogan. USC, like whatever.
You make up the slogan.
That's good.
It's
USC, like
personal
whatever.
to you, you know? So he and I started to text. The funny thing, and I can say a little bit about what they were working on, but when I was at Soho House, I would be on the garden, which is one side of the restaurant, looking
with the big
over
tree.
With the big tree. I was looking out into a construction zone across the street. And I was like, what is that? And turns out the guys, Brian and John from the H Wood Group, were building something, a new venue. And
that's like fighting.
Oh, I mean, yes and no.
That's like Coffee Bean Starbucks.
This is like a different level.
Okay. What
they were creating. And they were very clear about that. They grew up with like Sam Stone, who's global head of membership at Soho House. She's amazing.
Yeah.
It was never meant to be like, let's beef. It was like, we have this growing portfolio of brands, Delilah, The Nice Guy, like restaurants, clubs, Poppy, Harriet's, etc. And we want to create this new offering for people who have been going to H Wood venues forever. And it is a members club. And they want it to be very, very curated and very, very intimate. So I was watching all this go down. I knew that it had opened when I moved to Hawaii. And 6 months, I'm like, oh, I wonder how it's going. So he and I start texting. Next thing you know, I'm back in Los Angeles, sitting in the office with them, and I'm now the head of membership for the entire company, for the H Wood Group.
You're the other Soho person. Who's the person you just named?
Sam.
You're the Sam of
And I told Sam
H-Wood.
that. Like, Sam was a mentor to me at Soho. I've also known her for 10 years because when I became a member at Soho House, which was like my entree into the company, she did my like new member welcome.
Aww.
So she's iconic.
Yeah.
She's a badass. And I mean, I would be so lucky to be able to say that, I'm like the Sam Stone of H Wood. But eventually people will be saying, oh, she's like the Casey, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, because the next one's sipping coffee at Soho House.
And it's such a unique sphere. Like, there's not that many people who are like membership people,
right?
Like, they've worked in the membership club space. Like, most people outside of LA, that was something I loved about Hawaii. People be like, what did you do? I'm like, I didn't know how to explain it. I was just like, I worked in hospitality. They were like, okay, cool, you should be like a server at Turtle Bay. I'm like, no, that's not, I mean, no shade, but that's like not what I did. But they were equating it to that because there's nothing similar.
There's no Soho House Oahu?
It was something I wanted to like vet for them because Honolulu is on the South Shore and Honolulu is like a big city. It's like Vegas. It feels like it's giving Vegas in Hawaii.
Okay.
So maybe there would be a need for something like that there. I don't know. I was exploring it, but I was also
You're just sick of the sunshine, the beautiful beaches, everything, and you just need a $12 coffee. Like, where can I go?
So, I mean, maybe it'd be beachfront. Maybe it'd be like Miami.
Like the one in Malibu.
House. Yeah, Malibu. Yeah. I think it would definitely need to be beachfront. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
It's Hawaii.
Yeah.
So that is what I have been up to.
That's amazing.
It's actually been almost 6 months. I moved back in August.
Yeah.
And it's now December.
Time flies.
So I'm mostly focused on this membership property. It's called the Bird Streets Club. It is literally across from Soho House and at the base of the Bird Streets in the West Hollywood Hills. It's cute. You can drive by. If you blinked, you'd miss it. And
is it tall, short? Like, which building is it near the Hamburger Hamlet?
3 stories high. It's next to Prince Street Pizza.
Okay.
There's like a black and white checkered tiling at
Yeah.
the front. That's probably the most like identifiable trait on the exterior.
Okay.
And yeah, I love it.
Nice. I'll have to come by and see you in your natural environment.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you. So I was like, I'm friends with Casey, and everyone jumped at the desk. Come right in. Like you had some dirt on him.
It's really funny. So there's a lot of stigma, I think, around how membership clubs feel when you're at them, right? Like what do you think the kind of generally held belief about like what it feels like to be somewhere like Soho House?
I think it depends who you are. Like, because
true.
I've been going for 10 years. I've never been a member, but I've just seen it change. And you take different meetings there.
Yeah.
For me, it became just now less of like a going out fun, more of like I'm taking a meeting.
It's like a place to go.
It's a place to meet somebody who wants to meet with you.
Gotcha.
Or if they're from out of town, so they have a membership.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of transitional people.
Yeah.
Like people coming in and out.
Yeah.
Less show busy. It was very show biz before.
I think that's the ecosystem has really expanded.
Yeah.
You've got San Vicente Bungalows is probably the one that people want to talk to me about the most. They're starting to expand. You've got all of the New York clubs, the Casa Cipriani's, the Zero Bonds. You've got all of the London clubs.
Yeah.
Maison Estelle. I mean, there's so many. Annabelle's, like, iconic. These are all places that have kind of opened the door for Los Angeles to do its thing.
Yeah.
I can confidently say our club is the best in the country because of the member base and because of the feel inside. So yeah, I'll kind of leave it at that.
Top tier.
Yeah, it feels like that. And then H Wood as a company is looking to launch a membership as well in the near future.
Oh, so it's not membership.
Well,
a membership
the Bird Streets Club is.
for all
so
the
this
entire
would be
group.
like building out a department and offering something for people who, because we have venues all over the country. So this would be a way for people who are a fan of the brand H Wood to access us, to be able to book easily, to be able to access certain things that we offer to members, et cetera, et cetera. So that's something we're launching next year.
That's amazing. I mean, it's such a good portfolio of brands like in town. Like all of them are pretty iconic LA venues.
I think so. We actually just opened Delilah in Miami during Art Basel.
Nice.
In Brickell. I wasn't there, but I heard story. I literally heard people talking about it on TikTok, like what a thing it was. So yeah, the guys know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I feel really grateful to be in their presence and like get to be around that energy. It's a cool group of people.
Do you ever is your day just like taking out a membership form? No. Just you have a big wastebasket and you're just sinking them?
So not exactly. That's actually...
I don't like your face. No. Next.
So there's no applications with the Bird Streets. We'll go about it differently with H Wood, but for this place, it's all nominations based, which is, I think, super unique. It keeps it so that the people there, it's like 1 to 2 degrees of separation. Very friends and family oriented. So no, it's not like there's just a slew of apps. Yeah. I've experienced that in other environments, other contexts. But no, this is pretty streamlined.
And so you get an application, it's been vetted by nominated.
A nomination, yeah.
But you could still say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. It's a lot of power.
It's similar to like a Soho House. Yeah. There is a process. Like we have a committee. There are people who weigh in on decisions. It's not like I'm the end all be all.
Right. Yeah, don't at you if you don't get in.
Exactly. And like I'm also very focused on being inside the club and focused on the member experience there. Are you around? Like, are you a presence at there? Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I love it. I think it's quite fun. Like, it's a way to have these people become your friends. Yeah. And that's the vibe. And like, one of the things that I think is important is leading in a way, like exuding warmth. Hopefully that's who you are naturally. I think a lot of our staff is that way. They are that way. And we really encourage like feel the warmth, create the relationship, be mindful. Like if someone seems like they're wanting to have an intimate conversation with who they're with, don't like, but there's a certain feeling we want to convey when you're in the space. And it's certainly not like, why are you here? Like you should be so grateful to be here. It's the opposite of that.
It's the opposite. It's like, you're in, it's a family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not, it took a minute, I'm sure, to get in there, and we're not like trying to blow the lid off of membership. Like we want to keep it super intimate. Yeah. Like we will never sway on that. Like that will always be, it's a smaller space. It's like we want it to feel cozy, and we don't want it to feel so full that you're uncomfortable.
Nice. Restaurant, bar, yes.
Laptops allowed or not allowed? No, it's
nice.
Really not. So it's mostly an evening space.
Okay.
We don't. It would be kind of awkward, honestly, to have your laptop out, and like truthfully, like that's not that cool looking.
I'm done with the phones and the screens. Like
I always joke about this.
Like, I want to like a burner,
if
like a little
someone could
flip.
just please like take my phone and like chuck it off the side of the building, and then like make a reason for why I don't need a new one, I would be so happy. That was one thing I really enjoyed about kind of like dropping out a little like of everything. Just hearing my phone not buzz as much is good for you.
I made a little folder. It says do not open. I'll show you. You see it, do not open?
Yeah. What is, Instagram, all the social, TikTok.
So I just see that before
Good for you.
I go there. I'm like, a little reminder.
Smart.
Because I do kind of want to get rid of it totally. Yeah. But I don't want to like lose the name.
Flip phone. I know people who've done that.
A flip?
Yeah. Just
but then
old school.
I don't want to be.
I couldn't do that.
I don't want to be a green bubble guy.
Oh yeah,
so ostracized.
I will say, and I don't even care how this sounds, if there is one thing I judge instantly, it's the green bubble.
Yeah, everyone does.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Because also, and I think it might be a setting on my laptop, I do a lot of texting from my laptop, and for whatever reason, my laptop doesn't pick up the green bubble text, only the blue bubble text. Some kind of like blockage.
It's not tied to it's tied to your email, not your phone.
Something. And I just find it annoying because I miss the green bubble text all the time. And then I'm like, oh God, why? Yeah. Why? So to me, that's like an immediate.
So this is good info.
Immediate no. Not even forget my role in membership, just in life.
No, like, membership. If you apply with an Android, you're not getting in. Period.
No comment.
Yeah, you should. Apple should do an ad with Hwood. Do you want to potentially be a member? Maybe.
Oh God.
iPhone 15.
I mean, who? Yeah, I don't even. I feel bad, but I'm like, who is using? I get it if you're like, it's always an IT thing. IT always never using Apple products, always using PCs, Androids.
Yeah.
I ask too, so I know why. But to me, it's just like, I don't get it.
It's different. Yeah. I'm in now more of a role that's experiential.
Oh.
I'm running the Elysian Theater.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Have you been there?
Cool. Never.
You have to come see a show.
Is it on Wilshire?
No, it's on Riverside Drive in Echo Park.
Oh, wow.
Frogtown. Yeah.
East side, babe.
Yeah, very east side.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How are you liking it?
It's good. It's very like overlaps with like the Comedy Bunker era and a little bit of the Kid in the Corner era.
Yeah, you're very naturally good at it.
So it's like, but it's different hats. So focused on the live performance element, where that stuff was always like just like a piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great. I could see you being really good. Plus, you're so funny.
And I learned a lot from you from watching you do those events at Kid in the Corner. Yeah, because you put those backyard events and
I know. Someone asked me about like that era the other day, like what's up with Alex, what's up with the house. What's up, like
I went there on the last day.
So it's sold. They sold the house. Okay.
So, and then Alex was like, hey, I was like, hey, because we were talking about possibly rebooting it. And then he's like, no, I'm selling the house. I was like, when? He's like, Friday. I was like, I got a bunch of stuff there. He's like, come get it. And I met him and he was like packing boxes with like a couple helpers and like clearing out the whole thing.
How long ago?
February.
Oh wow, he's in New York now, right?
Yeah, he's got a new space in New York. He said, like a bar venue. He said he might want to do a comedy show there, but
wow.
And then because like there was a whole fashion thing he was doing for a while.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to him since then, but yeah.
Me either.
Yeah.
Different era.
Yeah, but that was like the first time I saw those like non-traditional events and like how much work it takes.
They're fun,
but it was
right? Yeah, it is a lot of work, but they can feel very rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
where I
like
met Morgan
it's an
J,
event.
who's now huge, blowing up.
He is. We knew that was going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, he
though.
did,
He's
yeah.
very talented.
Yeah.
Very funny. Yeah, it all happened then. I know it's been interesting to kind of trace back like my time in LA. It's been about 18 years. And like not everyone, but most of the people I met along the way have played some role in my life. They've helped take me to the next.
Yeah.
And I love being in a social space like where I run into people. I just think it's so fun.
It's so fun, yeah.
That's what I realized being in Hawaii. It's like you start over.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the most, and I say this lovingly, but it's not like the people who are trying to run the world.
No, there's
on
no
the
tech
North Shore.
sector.
No.
Yeah.
Or like any, sense of creativity. And I mean, I'm sure it exists, but
It's the end of the line. It's after you've done all that stuff. Yeah.
I know. So I had my little heyday there, and I was very happy to come back.
Did you meet Jack Johnson? No.
Actually, funny enough, I did see Jack perform, and I saw him riding his bike one day. I mean,
Really?
he lives like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. Big fan. Always have loved his music.
That's
How can you not like? Who doesn't like Jack Johnson?
I don't think no one dislikes Jack Johnson. Like, I hate Jack Johnson. He's universally liked. Maybe
For
the most.
his music, especially. It's
Yeah.
happy music.
What if he's like a really angry person?
No, he's not.
No.
He's so chill. He's so cute. Like he's
It'd be a funny SNL skit.
likable. Yeah.
To do like he's just like the total opposite of that.
SNL lately, I tried to watch. I was with my family over the weekend, and we tried to watch the episode because like we love Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
And we love Kristen Wiig, and they both were back on last week's with I guess Billie Eilish was the performer. It was really bad. Like,
Oh, no.
SNL is just kind of whack now.
That's too
Because
bad.
now you have like TikTok. I'm a big TikTok girl.
Are you really?
I mean, I don't post. I wish I was.
You're in the
great enough.
algorithm. You're addicted.
I cannot get enough.
Oh no.
Instagram, like whatever. TikTok to me, that's where all the juice is. That's the
Really?
good stuff. Yeah, that's my opinion.
I don't know if you remember Michael Longfellow. He was one of the people who would perform at the Comedy Bunker a
Okay.
lot. He's now one of the SNL cast members.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah.
It's just the writing is bad. Like I can see them all sitting in a room being like, this is really gonna, this whatever claps or whatever. They're just like, we got this.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't translate. It's really bad.
I think because it's also live every day,
Yeah.
right? Or no, live
live
every week.
every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Yeah,
So
you
like
have, like,
every
a
week
week
they
to
have a
prepare.
week to like kill it. And
And they suck. Like, I don't know. I'm disappointed. I loved that show growing up.
yeah, I think it goes through eras and cycles. But like when you catch one, like a bit, like a clip of one that's like really funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like the last one I remember was that one about the LA highways.
Oh, the Californians.
Yeah, like-
yeah. I mean, that was like 10 years ago.
Okay, well, I'm not getting the TikTok clips. Or like, I really like Kate McKinnon though. Like
She's iconic, but she's not on the show anymore. She came back
okay.
to host because she's like evolved on. And
She
Kristen
killed
Wiig,
it.
Those two to me are the like classics.
She killed it in the Barbie movie.
I didn't actually see Barbie, but yeah, she talks about how she was in the Barbie movie.
Like she was so good.
She's so funny.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, she's another one, undisputably just like funny.
How did you miss that cultural moment?
I remember it happening, and I remember it was like Barbie and Oppenheimer, and I don't like going to movie theaters. That's my honest answer. But I like was watching clips on TikTok. I feel like I saw the whole movie on TikTok.
Oh, in like 60-second increments?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it affecting your
I saw,
attention span?
Yeah, of course. I haven't been able to sit and watch a movie. I also think movies are just generally really bad right now.
Yeah.
The movies that are coming out.
Oppenheimer was good. Barbie was good.
Oppenheimer was okay. I watched it the other day. It was
It's too long,
very long.
but it was very
May,
good.
December, I just tried to watch.
I heard it was
with a
great.
No.
What?
No. It was not great. It was
2 thumbs down?
laughable. First of all, it's a really, really disturbing topic, but that's fine. I get you make movies about that kind of stuff. I was with a few friends, and there are these like, the score, like the musical score. They do these weird things with the music where it's like dun dun dun, and then they like zoom in on what is her name? Diane Moore? Is that who it's in? Who's in it? I forgot. It's Natalie Portman and
Sarah?
no, I'm just spacing.
Oh,
on
Julianne
them.
Moore.
Thank you, Julianne
Yeah.
Moore. I said Diane Moore, Julianne Moore. And they'll like zoom on her face, and then we're like, is this for real? And then they end it so sloppily, like it's just some like random ending, and you're like, what? That wasn't. bad. And then my mom was telling me that Netflix movie with Julia Roberts. That's
I started that one.
I started it too. I couldn't finish it. She said that one ended really choppily, and it just makes you feel so weird and uncomfortable. And it's like,
oh no,
this is bad. Like, back to TikTok.
The Killer was good.
I didn't see that. I don't even know what it is.
It's David Fincher's new film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like David Fincher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do know movies.
I guess I do.
Yeah.
I don't like. I mean.
You know directors just off the top.
I do, yeah,
okay.
I do, because I have friends who are in entertainment, and
right.
David Fincher is one. There's a story about him. Like, one of my friends dated him, so we all joke that he's like the one that got away, and we're like, we give her shit for it. So that's, but that's the only reason I know him.
Okay.
And like John Wick, I love shit like that.
Like action movies.
Yeah, I do. And
yeah.
I love Keanu Reeves.
That's David Leitch. And
David Leitch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Oh, wait. Shit. Sorry. Correction. Cut. David Leitch is the one. That's why I'm saying John Wick that dated my friend.
Who got away.
Carrie, who they dated briefly, and then he got away, and now whatever.
And now he's. Yeah. Okay.
Not David Fincher.
Not David Fincher. David Leitch. I just kind of went down a David Leitch rabbit hole and watched all of his films.
What are some of his other films again?
The Bullet Train.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We did this too during COVID.
The John Wick.
Yeah. Series.
I think he was co-directing.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
Yep. There's another really good one that he's done that I liked.
Oh, the Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. There's also oh god.
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde, that's a good one.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
I was surprised it didn't do better.
Yeah. It's funny you think I know movies. I don't think I know movies at all, but yeah, I know enough.
You're keeping up.
I think that one of my gifts, and you could argue that this is not a gift, I don't know, is I know a little bit about a lot.
Okay.
That's kind of how I'm able, and I am very interested in people. So when someone's talking to me, sports is an area I know pretty much nothing about, but there's definitely a heavy, athlete presence in some of the work that I'm involved with. So I have to be able to kind of talk about something
touchdowns
to an extent.
And stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not an area that excites me. I need to be excited, and then I want to know more.
I feel like there's a divide, sports and movies and stuff. It's
well, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift kind of helped bridge that. Yeah. I think there was that joke right when they started dating. That's it's Taylor's dating this guy on the NFL, and all the NFL, the guys were like, what are you talking? She put him on the map. They're like, what? Travis Kelce's all-star, da 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 da.
I didn't know who he was before this.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah. Trevor Wallace, another guy used to do the Comedy Bunker. He had a great skit about that whole.
Really?
Yeah. The Swifties, becoming whatever
rallying
team.
behind him. But then there's conspiracies that it's it was the NFL that paid them to make this relationship. It was Pfizer pharmaceutical
It was the vaccine.
Oh my God. We talked about the vaccine last time. I feel like I really came off as anti, which
I don't remember that.
No, I do.
Your DMs do.
Oh, so yeah. That's what's been happening.
That's amazing. Well, you have to come to the Legion. We have Mark Maron on Friday, and then
I would love to. Maybe I know you're going out of town. Maybe after the holidays.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you when we have some shows you should check out. There's Vanessa 5000, which is a really great show. We have a whole bunch of really awesome ones.
And let me know how I can support and with this as well.
If
there's anyone that is really excited.
We're doing a membership program too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you need someone to run that?
Yeah, I need someone to tell me how I'm doing it all wrong.
I'm great at that.
Yeah, but because we want to have people to be able to have a different line or different benefits.
So you're being serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
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 Well,
it's definitely different demo, different
out a price, and then figure out what they get.
Yeah.
And then have the operations to support it.
Totally.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you can do a soft launch.
Exactly.
We're going to launch it to 50 people at this friends and family rate.
Cap it.
Mm-hmm. And then this is what it includes. Make an app. Have a good CRM, Salesforce. We use something called Peoplevine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're app ready, but we're definitely making the membership.
Yeah, you know what? A newsletter will do.
Yeah, newsletter. We're really good in the mailing list. Our mailing list crushes it.
You've always been great with mailing lists. I think I still get I definitely have gotten Comedy Bunker emails in the past.
Yeah. That's awesome. But it's going to be really fun. We really like the Vidiots membership. Do you know Vidiots? that video rental place?
No.
It was like the last VHS
Idiots.
place.
Like idiots.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Video idiots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
All right. Keeping up. And I think like one of the Ellisons like supported it or something, and they moved it to Echo Park, and they have a great membership program that's just like very clear and transparent.
It's interesting. That model is really taken off.
What, video or member?
No, memberships.
Everyone wants a subscription, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's too much. Like
it's always too much.
Like I have a gym app. It's like $5 a month.
It's always too much. For the amount of times I have people tell me, well, I belong to this club and that club and this club and that club. I'm like, there's not enough days in the week for you to go to all those places.
Yeah. That's why I never became a member of Soho, because I'm like, I would never go.
Yeah.
Like I go enough just meeting, like, it was with Mark and Alex and stuff. We'd be there a lot, but then I don't need my own membership to go. I need to like, it's such a whole day. It's like you drive there,
I know.
you're not getting any work done.
It's fun. It's meant to be.
It is fun. Yeah.
Like,
And that's the
having,
thing.
Like a cheeky drink, glass of wine at 2 p.m. Like it's fun.
It's a fun, And so hopefully I'd love to check out your club, because it's, sounds like fun.
It is fun.
It's back to the fun element.
Yeah, definitely. It's a special place, and I think it will stay that way.
What's like the future? Like because you're talking about there's a small group of people in membership. Like where does that lead? Because sometimes these new careers, it's like you probably know all 5 people in the world who have this job.
I think a lot of people who work in membership, it becomes for them like a stepping stone, right? So like a membership manager who works at the Soho House in New York or LA, like they maybe didn't envision themselves being in membership their whole lives. They're using that as a way to get a lot of experience, not in a bad way, just like I'm doing this, I'm going to meet a boatload of people, I am going to learn skills. Hospitality, it's like if you have that skill set, I would argue you could do almost anything in life. Seriously.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people, you're running around, you're under stress. It's very task oriented. Like you got to get shit done or people are going to know. You've got people yelling at you, like you deal with conflict resolution. It's a lot of skills.
It's like the White Lotus.
Yeah, literally.
The first season,
God,
that one guy, Armando.
Oh my God, he really cracked under the pressure though. He died.
He died.
So
in like a blaze of glory.
he was quite iconic. Such a good show.
Yeah.
So I think
that's what it's like. That's your day. You're Armand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having visions of him like railing lines of like whatever in his office, with some kid. Like,
You're like that, but with matcha.
Yeah, with matcha. matcha latte. Yeah, I don't think the majority of people who go into membership see that as their career path. I think they see it as a way to step into something else. Maybe you meet someone, you want to be in film, all of a sudden you meet a director. Okay, you're the AD, like it's a stepping stone. For me, if you had told me when I was in college that there was a job like this that existed, where you get to leverage your relationships, be in a space, make things happen, make people happy, bring community together, throw events, and just generally be a part of a cool team, I would say, what? Like, you're joking. So it took me a minute. I worked in media, I worked at creative agencies, I worked in events, did experiential, and then it got me to this. And I actually think my whole background now like makes a lot of sense to me. At the time and to other people it probably didn't. It's like, oh, she's working at Vice in this industry, and now she's at a record label, and now she's in fashion, and now it's like, oh no, so she knows everyone from all these different spaces. She can handle herself in these different situations. She's not easily like flustered, or knows how to handle people. And I've always said I treat everyone the exact same. I don't care who you are. If you're, cleaning the venue or someone who we value as a member, I don't care. I will treat you the exact same.
Respect. Always.
100%.
Yeah.
Respect. And that stuff is it's so important. And if you don't think karma is real, like you're tripping. So, so to answer your question, for me, I actually see this as a career.
Yeah.
I don't know where it'll lead. I don't know how long I'll do this. Eventually, what I will say and be very honest about is it is a little tough. So I'm in my mid-30s. I'm a woman. I am constantly being told, oh, like your clock, and it's all these societal things, your biological clock. I haven't had children yet. And I do eventually want those things, but I don't want to have to sacrifice like what I feel is a very exciting career. And so planning for like what that means a little bit, and like, can I still, do I have a few more years where I can, because I'll tell you what, I'm sure as shit not going to be pregnant, like hanging out at the club at 1 a.m. So
right.
I think about that stuff.
Yeah,
I do.
That's that balance. It's hard to get.
But at the same time, I would not change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. I was never one of those women who was like, I want to be married with kids in my 20s. I'm like, what? I'm still, first of all, I'm partying. I'm having a great time. I'm in a loving relationship where actually that person was pressuring me to go that direction. And I was like, sorry, bud. Like, no, it's not, I like, no. And I think that,
how long have you and Bud been together?
Well, he and I was with someone in my 20s for about 7 years.
Okay.
We went through a lot together, and he's a fantastic man, but for the reasons I'm alluding to, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to be in that sort of committed relationship. And I think it's okay I've been in a few very serious relationships since, and I think that it's okay to be with someone. They never have ended badly. It's just like, we want different things, and I think everyone like owes it to themselves to be really honest about what they need and what they want. Otherwise, you're just gonna resent the person, or it's gonna blow up in your face. And I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited for 2024. 2023 has been wild.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, I think because
it's like there's so much tension.
There's a lot of tension, and I think that tension needs to dissipate, but like
release
rupture.
Valve.
It needs to exactly. The pressure valve, the energy, the universe needs to shift.
Yeah, steam.
I feel that for 2024.
Yeah,
in a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
but LA, is home for me. I left before. I lived in New York. I lived in London. I lived in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm from Northern California, and I always come back, and there's a reason. I think there's magic here for sure. Like, if you know how to like be and not lose yourself, you can make magic.
Yeah. It's also just like, it's the city of the future in a way.
Yeah.
Like all like the elements of like social media and industry, and it's like a good hybrid of everything.
100%.
Yeah. I do really like New York, but it's changed so much.
Yeah. New York is a tough place to live. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like be in a snowstorm and like just walk down the stinky street and get like attacked by a rat,
You could be so lucky it's only a rat.
I know. True.
Wow.
True. I'm like weirdly very afraid of rats.
It's okay.
Like, I'm not afraid of sharks. I'm afraid of rats.
Just rats. Well, like a rat shark.
What is that?
It's a new movie coming out. Directed by David Leitch.
The one that got away.
The one that got away, aka Rat Shark.
She's gonna laugh when she hears this, and she loves a little shout out. Carrie. I see you. She's like a diehard podcaster too.
Oh, okay, cool.
She likes to listen to podcasts. I'm not saying she podcasts,
but maybe
that'll be next for her.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe for you.
It's tough.
Part of the community building. Because that's kind of like what you do in membership. It's like you build community.
It is, yeah. But there's also this element of, and why it's even like tricky doing things like this, there's a level of discretion and privacy that we value. So I'm like, as I'm talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to be mindful that, something could be interpreted the wrong way. And hopefully I have been mindful enough. What do you think? What do you think? Oh God,
yeah, it's been great.
You see me just switch from being all confident to like, oh no.
What did I just do? She grabs the thing, shocks it against the...
Can you imagine just destroy your whole podcast studio?
Yeah, someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some edits you need to do.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because this came up for me last night. I was at the club. What is a compliment that you get that you really like about yourself?
Oh, I like when people say I'm nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Or funny.
Okay, those are different.
Yeah.
So, which is it?
Oh, I have to pick like one?
Oh, we could say like, it's like a compliment you get frequently. Like, oh my gosh, you're so funny.
I get funny a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Well, I was going to say, so nice. I don't like that compliment because I feel like it's different to be nice than kind.
Okay.
I would kind of prefer kind because nice to me just sounds like you're like a pushover or something. Doormat. That could just be my conditioning.
Maybe it is.
The compliment I like the most, and I for sure was teeing you up to ask me this, but I've been thinking about it a lot, is I like when people say that I have good energy.
Do I have to say that now?
No, you don't have to. I already know it's
Okay.
true.
Because now I feel on the spot.
No. But it's when I get
I'll work it in and when you're not
to
expecting.
me, this is the key to life,
Yeah.
right? Like, what's worse than coming across someone who's a big old stinker?
So you like it when people come up to you and say, "Oh my God, you have great energy."
It's weirdly people aren't like, "Oh, you're so this or you're so that." They're like, "You have great energy."
Really?
Yeah, I take that as a compliment.
Do they do like a touch? You have great energy.
They like touch me,
Yeah.
or
I feel like people who give that compliment are very touchy.
Well, it's, you know what? It comes from more types of people than you would imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like a dreadlock hippie.
No.
Edit number 3. It's like football player.
Oh my God, that was crazy. That has got to go. No, it's not a I don't really know many dreadlocked hippies.
Didn't you date one for 7 years?
How do you know? I give no physical descriptors.
Through the energy.
The internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay, well, you have great energy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, what do you say to that?
Thank you.
You say thank you?
Yeah. I'm like,
Then you do the
thanks.
hair thing like that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're not a member.
You got to go.
Still not a member.
Our time here, it's done.
Do you still have like a check-in like area where you keep the riffraff out?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Essential. Security, all that.
Do they have like, do they have like physical security?
Like a person?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because I've only seen like the 2 desk people at the Soho House. They have to throw some people out sometimes.
Soho is different.
Oh, because they had the whole valet area with the security.
Yeah,
kinda.
well, no, there wasn't. I always felt like there could have been more ample security.
Yeah.
Fortunately, nothing. We were okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, security essential. I love a security guard personally. I always feel like they become my friend.
Yeah.
Love a protector.
It's nice to, when you want them on your side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Like someone to have in the friend group.
Yeah. I really think that like the audience building thing is like the future for like all of like basically every business. Cause like every product has to, it's not like mass media anymore. It's like you have to find your audience for like this little cup holder for your car. Everything you're trying to sell is like, let's like it. Let's share it. Let's be
and
it.
everyone, like on the other side of it, everyone I think is looking for a sense of community
And curation.
Yeah, they want someone to do
much.
that for them. No, I agree. That's why I like TikTok, because it has been really customized. Even I do my shopping like for my clothes and stuff on Pinterest, because whatever is happening with that algorithm, they like feed you things that, so like instead of going to a website with like 100,000 items, I have like a couple items that were picked for me on Pinterest, and I get exposed to new brands and clothes and things like that way. I don't know. I'm a big curation girl. I don't always want to do it myself. Like I'm not able to curate every aspect of my life. I think I have a generally good sense when it comes to people. You know, I was raised by parents. My dad.
I was raised by parents.
I was raised by parents. My parents. I was raised by 2 people who are very much, I mean, they were kind of, I think I've talked about this before, but my dad was a part of the human potential movement in the 60s and 70s. Haight-Ashbury, he lived at Esalen and Big Sur, where they were really discovering like humans. You know, it was on the heels of like kind of like the Pleasantville housewife, 50s woman specifically. And then the shift became like, how do you feel about this? Like, what do you want? Self-actualization, Abraham Maslow, you know, all of that way of thinking.
The hierarchy of needs?
Hierarchy of needs, baby.
Yeah.
And if you can get to the top, the tippy top, self-actualization, you've achieved like happiness.
Is that a person, Maslow? Yeah. Do they know him?
I think.
Or is he dead?
He's dead, but I think that he did pass through. Esalen was sort of like this breeding ground for a lot of that thinking.
Yeah.
My dad dropped out of college to live there, and he took workshops from all of these people, like the Fritz Perls, like William Schutz's, like all of these really profound thinkers of the time. Why am I saying all this? They raised us in very much a way where like we talked about all this. Any type of conflict, how are you feeling? Like, this happened and this made me feel this way. It was very much a part of my like Bay Area upbringing, for better or for worse. And I feel like I have developed a good sense for how to read people and read situations, and that is like, there's nothing more. That's like a priceless skill.
Yeah.
Right.
And that brings it full circle. That's where you develop the skill to read people and then to curate people, put them into a group,
and
like charge a membership fee.
Exactly, and know what will work or what doesn't quite. I think it's very obvious, but I'm realizing that not everyone sees it that way. And there's like plenty of things that do not find obvious that other people are very gifted
we're all
and skilled
different.
at.
We all have different skills.
But it would have been really tricky as like a young kid to say, this is my dream job. I wouldn't have even known. So it took some experimentation. I have to say, I'm amazed. Like, there's a girl on my team named Taryn who is a USC grad recent. She's like 23. She is amazing. She is so smart, so capable, so hardworking. The Gen Z, like that whole group, I find them to be such an interesting group of people. Very different.
So different, yeah.
Than when I was 23. She doesn't drink. She's like a wellness girly. Takes really good care of herself. She's reliable. No shade to my own self, but when I was 23, I was hardworking, sure, but I was like, you didn't know what I was gonna do. Like, my first few jobs, I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted. They were like, I worked events. That's how I met my boyfriend of 7 years. We worked at the company together. So you can imagine how fun that must have been for the founders. They're like, oh, they're like dating now. Like, had to deal with all that. And they'd be like, Casey, you're like managing the event. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like drinking with the talent, with the artists right now. They're like, no. What are you doing? Get out of here. Like, I was just unruly, but I learned and it made me great over time. But she's like, they're just like, we came to play. And I think it's very refreshing.
Drinking culture's way down. Like, I kind of stopped drinking, and
it's not the cutest.
No,
it's really not.
It's just like not as fun anymore.
And it really wreaks havoc on your like physical.
It does,
self.
yeah.
And your mental health.
Yeah,
definitely.
Sleep. I prioritize sleep now.
Sleep 8 hours essential. I find like I'm not a big like worker outer like exerciser. I would like to be a little bit more movement focused in my day, but I will say sleep and like feeding myself decent quality food, those two things have kept me like healthy.
That's all I'm about, like health right now, like staying like healthy. I can tell. Yeah,
you look very healthy.
Thank you. It's alcohol, no gluten.
Another compliment. That'll do it. That's the thing, it does make you puffy. Like, I had, oh god, now the camera's going to be taking it in. I had a martini last night because we launched something with martinis, and I had martini or two, and
the mixer, the vermouth.
Well, there was vermouth, there's olives, there was some caviar involved, and I definitely noticed today, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like puffy. It definitely makes you a little bit more inflamed. Yeah, that's just what it does.
But it's also, I find it's hard to be out. There's a certain point after being out, like you kind of need it, or you got to go home.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So agreed. I do find I go a lot of places and I leave after 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, I got this.
You're like, you're good. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of normal. Like, you don't need to be out. I'm out because I'm working. Most of the time I'm not out because I want to be like hanging out.
But you lose pace with the rest of the group. They're all drinking and you're like, all right, that's enough.
And like things aren't as funny. You kind of feel like you would rather be at home in bed. Like, your
just
mindset just shifts.
Exactly.
That's okay. I mean, granted, our entire business is predicated on the idea that people want to be out. And I still will say people do.
They do want to be out.
But LA is interesting because you're balancing all these different needs that people have and a desire to be fun, but also like feel good. And
I don't want my sleep tracker yelling at me in the morning.
There you go. Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect it.
It says you did not do a great job and my whole day is off. And then I start thinking about it.
The sleep thing's a big one.
Yeah,
but I feel like everyone's kind of catching on to that.
Yeah, I feel like all these things are coming up. They're like, we kind of knew, but like we're really saying, no, it is bad for you drinking too much. It is good for you to get sleep.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on like I know mushrooms recreational mushrooms have become kind of big with the kiddos.
Yeah, I kind of seem to have missed that.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never really been my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people like tout it for having all of these creative inducing benefits.
I feel like mushrooms, weed, crypto, these things are like may have benefits, but they're also kind of like religions.
Yeah,
you
true.
know, like
Culty.
so culty.
Yeah.
And they're
So
like,
you're not.
They
you're
become
not.
like everything can be. Remember that era? Probably more when we were in high school. Everything should just be made of weed, like hemp. And they're like, it's like, what?
I remember that.
Nothing.
Well, there was
they could make
hemp
cars out of
milk.
hemp, man, and then they never did it.
Yeah.
Hemp milk, yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything's
it's like a natural fiber.
yeah, and then this last cult, they're like, everything should just be on the blockchain. And we're like, what? And like,
no,
yeah.
I hear you. Those are two good examples. Yeah,
And the mushroom's the next one.
I dabble in like those types of things. Like I actually did really well with some Bitcoin. That's how I like supported myself in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Actually. Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. But like from years ago, like 2017.
Like
Yeah,
on the dark.
I basically bought a good amount of Bitcoin when it was around 12K per. And then it had that little moment where it skyrocketed to like 45, I think. I could be getting those numbers wrong. So I took my money out. I'm not an idiot. Like I'm like, I came to play.
Yeah.
And so it like pretty much like 3x'd, you know?
Yeah.
Not bad. A little more than that. So
Wow.
yeah, I was happy.
And then you went to Hawaii with that.
Yeah, I lived off of that.
Wow, you're the only
6
person
months.
I know who's figured it out.
Because I'm not an idiot and I'm not just gonna like, I'm not greedy.
You're not crypto
I'm not
bro.
like, oh my God, it's going to the moon. Like, because then it totally nosedived.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like mushrooms for sure. I've had experiences and I would tout it for that, all that stuff. But I also know people who have gone into dark places from like abusing stuff like that. So, you know, I'm very much like even keeled at this stage of my life, like balance.
I like it.
Balance is the name of the game.
Yeah. That's a great place to end on balance.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming back again.
It's so fun.
Do you want to
I
plug
love just
anything?
shooting the shit
Do you
with
have a book? No,
I
I'm
have
just
a
kidding.
book? I don't know what my book would be about. You know, my mom has a book coming out. I can shout out that.
Yeah.
So she is 73 and she has a book that's
You can have a book called Members Only, My Life
I know,
Saying
but
No.
then that's like a tell-all, you know, and I don't want to gotta like keep it close to the
Then we can do that
the
later.
best. Yeah.
No, she won't do that later.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
Never. No, I'm, you know, I'm like, as much as it would be fun to, I love to write. My whole family are authors, actually. My mom's book is called Ageless Aging. She's 73, mega babe, healthy as can be.
Your mom is 73?
73. Yeah, you've seen her before.
Yeah.
She's hot. I mean, is that weird to say? It's a little weird. Mayo Press are publishing her book in the spring.
Okay.
Excited.
Ageless Aging by
Yeah.
Mrs. Casey Kent? What's her name?
Maddie Dykewald. She's a different name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Different name.
Yeah.
She's got a Hollywood name.
Yeah. You know, funny enough, my mom was in Hollywood, but it's a whole other story. We won't get into it.
We'll save it for part 3.
But I would love to write a book one day.
Yeah.
Maybe. But maybe like a children's book.
Okay.
Like a short one.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
And the rain comes. Well, thanks
Yeah.
again. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.